den. If you have business, feel free to land. Den to approaching vessel. Docking approved.
Got anything you need to offload? Trade Authority is always by. Kiosk right here for you.
Was there something you... If there's anything I can do for you, by all means. How may the Trade Authority assist? Yes, of course.
If my shift goes long again, my girl is gonna...
Look who's back. You got something quick? Kinda busy at the moment. Orlaise. Doesn't ring a bell. Seriously? Out here? Surprised they didn't send out a general notice he's in town. Though, I guess there's less a chance he bolts if they keep it hush. Wait. The Warlock! There's been rumor of a ship out there for years now. Doesn't respond to hails. No. More than a few amateur investigators have tried to find it. Aetheria's debris fields are plenty dangerous if you're not used to flying in them. Can't think of a better spot your Orlaise might be hiding. Well, the original Den Star Station was destroyed decades ago during the big part of the remains from those battles ended up gathering around Aetheria, forming it. Every now and then, some headstrong scrapper comes limping back because they hit an 80-year-old mine. Though, maybe it's not just the field that's been picking them off. I mean, I honestly thought it was just a story board haulers told to amuse. But if the pilot of the Warlock really has been dusting our people, well, hopefully you're about... things you should know? The den's not really that kind of place. This is keep an eye out for pirates, make sure smuggling's kept to a minimum, occasional rescue job out in the debris field. Otherwise, it's mostly long haulers and staying ready for the day the collective wants. Sure thing. Here, this should get you pointed in the right direction. Go get your man.
Marquez is all right, I guess. She's gonna be lucky to have me as a boss.
Happy you're here, Captain.
Hey, Captain. Need something? living things can adapt to survive constant exposure to this high temperature. daughter spends a fortune to maintain the lodge, but I'd say it's worth every credit. Always a pleasure.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
Welcome back, Captain. Do you have some news for me regarding Dr. Olays? I'm not surprised. The man fled every consequence here. Of course, you don't expect me to just take you at your word, do you? I'd say it'd be a waste of your and Hadrian's time to have to track down the research team on your own. Surely you found... Excellent. Please, deposit it in the transfer system.
Transfer accepted.
Would you look at that? Kept it all these years. Some simply couldn't let go of that old world.
Authorized personnel only.
If you want help, I'm here. Sounds good? Lead on.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
This is fine work. I can ensure the remaining team members find their way to the Red Devil's headquarters. That one you'll need to collect yourself. His name is Kaiser. The area was ground zero for xeno-weapon deployments during the war, and I think you'll want to check in with Hadrian and Dr. Walker before paying it a visit. A military Model A, yes. Specifically customized for the needs of the Xeno warfare team. A powerful resource, if you can recover him. I dedicated my life to the United Colonies. Every effort of my being to their protection. I even gave them my heirs, even if my circumstances have changed. You're saving the galaxy, Captain.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
Hey there. Glad to see you. All right, let's go. Suit pressure normal, everything in the green. Let's see what's out here.
wish we kept the ship's gravity this low. It's an awfully pleasant sensation.
Captain, welcome back. I was afraid you might have... It should.
Though I have had my own personal struggles with the United Colonies, I'm happy for...
But it is real good to have you here again. We've been going through the Terramorph data and these logs, they're even more thorough than I remembered. Genetic workups, population statistics, hell, even their food chain. I'd completely forgotten, for example, that there was a creature that actually ate Terramorphs. At this point, the data's given us more options to explore than we have people to work on. Well, 8. They went extinct a few decades back. A big lumbering thing called an Aceles. Something I'd love to learn more about, if we had the... That'd be something, wouldn't... I'm sorry, are you? You're serious? You found our research team? Wait, Kaiser. That's right. You would need that. Whoever gave you these leads sure knew their stuff. Well, how? How exactly did you... That's not funny. Seriously, how'd you find them? No. That's insane. They faked his death? My entire unit, they threw us all to the wolves, but kept him? And now he's what? An advisor? Commanding the fleet in sea? What was so important that they had to keep him alive? Well, they certainly picked an expert, didn't they?
He's alive. Victus is still alive. I don't care if they're using him to solve world hunger. The man is a criminal.
I guess it makes sense, though, doesn't it? The UC of that era only created me because they were afraid of a world without Victus in command. Why would they get rid of him? As long as I live, I'll never understand. You've got nothing to apologize, because the UC, they did a lot of terrible things for that man. But even knowing they did, knowing that they kept him alive, all this, it's hope. I had no one when I was outside the UC. But that old world, where I was no one and my father mattered, that's gone. Thanks to what you and I have done, I have a place again. You and we're getting to change what the UC stands for. So I don't care if Victus is alive or dead. He can rot for all I care. We're the ones who are making the settled systems and the UC better. Precisely. Because there's nothing we can do about past choices. What we can do is try and make the right ones now. So, let's get back to the business at hand. Now, my father just handing over the information. But, if he has something to gain from helping us prevent terramorph attacks, I'm not seeing. So while you'll absolutely want to be cautious, what would you think? I'm honestly not sure what his endgame might be. Involving himself in preventing terramorph attacks after all the damage he's done? Something doesn't add up. But he clearly understands how valuable it'd be to have Kaiser involved in this endeavor. So, I still think it'd be worth looking into. If you're willing. I think it's the right call. But if Kaiser has been out wandering on his own for all this time, you're gonna need a couple things. I know it's here somewhere. Ah. Here, Kaiser schematics. Actuators, weapons, batteries. That old robot's been MIA for a while, so chances are he's gonna need some repair. He's also got a lock on his voice controls. You can give yourself authorization with the phrase, Nos belli machinis. Now, where exactly is the old machine? Oh, it's really not that daunting. So long as he's on a planet with some modicum of civilization, you should be able to cobble together most of what he might need. He is on a planet like that. Right? Oh my god, are you talking about Nira? The environment's devastated. There's little, if any, real law. Nira's got more than... But I think there's a place where you can start your search. Yep. One-of-a-kind salvage. Licensed to an Angelo Alonso. Goes by Gel. As good a place to start as any. The Colony War saw a lot of hard fighting, but Nira... Everything the Freestar Collective and UC could muster, ground troops, xenoweapons, mechs, was hurled into the fray. Both sides hoped something would decisively turn the tide, but it never did. When the war... So what Kaiser's doing there, of all places... And I'll make sure we're ready to put him to use as soon as you got him.
result of humankind laying waste to a planet in the name of war. The ecosystem here has been totally...
Lots to do. You understand.
You're in my light.
Hey! New model on the floor. Welcome to the one-of-a-kind. Refuge and rest home for the hardest scrappers anywhere. Turn mechs into money mostly, plus selling equipment, information, and supply. So formal. The pleasure is all mine, my lady. You can call me Jell. Can I get you started on a tab, then? Or you here to try and make your fortune in the fields? I'm happy to... All legal. Lots of money to be made on mech scrap if you... And I just happen to sell a guide that'll show you the best spots to get started. Couple of words of warning, though. As you may have put together, Niera's more dangerous than a cellophane airlock. UC brought Xeno weapons here during the Colony War, and more. You've also got the unauthorized scrappers, Ecliptic being the worst of the bunch. Killed. Luckily, We sell a wide array of problem solvers in various colors and calibers. Any NERA scrapping expedition starts by checking my stock. Nasty kind of alien left behind after the Colony War. Original ones brought to NERA were all Xeno weapons, but those critters have long since passed. No better select. Kaiser? No bot around here. Oh, unless you mean Captain Ahab? At least that's what we've all been calling him. No clue what his actual designation is, since he's got some sort of security protocol that prevents inquiries and general chit-chat. But he's a combat bot, right? His white whale. But it's been a while since anyone's laid eyes on Captain Ahab, though. Well, so, sounds like you've got two options. You can wander around out there, hunting your bot, little old white whale of your very own. Maybe you find him, maybe, but knowing this rock is part of what we do here. So if you want to find him a whole lot faster, going rate's a little steep. I'm listening. I do understand. I'm trying. Yeah, I hope so. Maybe we can work something out. Okay. I mean, great for him, but that won't keep acetylene in our tanks. And honestly, would you be able to tell if a Terramorph was attacking outside?
You didn't get this far being that naive. This facility isn't self-sustaining, and you know it. If Terramorph attacks start wrecking cities across the galaxy, no one's coming to help the salvage yard at the tail end of nowhere. We're all in this. Together.
I guess I see your point. Suit yourself. In need of materials? Or just here to have a drink and enjoy the views? Change your mind? Lot safer. Pleasure doing business with you. So, last anyone heard of him, he was out near the Syracuse shipwreck. One of my roughnecks said he heard some kind of beacon. Just keep your ears open. You should find your machine. Eyes open, too. Sirens and Ecliptic out there, and neither takes prisoners. Oh, and corpse retrieval is not included in this transaction, so now you know. Give Ahab a Kaiser our best.
I'm pleased to see scrappers disassembling these mechs. Damn war machines are better off being erased from history.
Glad I buckled up.
From the inside out.
Biological contamination. Eliminated. Password required. Voice. Attempting to resume. Attempting to. Error. Power level insufficient. Battery required. Type microcell. Inquire at salvage yard. Battery accepted. Analyzing. Residual damage detected. Thank you for your aid. I must resume my mission. Weapon disarmament. High risk. Heat leeches. Energy siphoning pests. Nested as I reset from my last altercation. Good to have them gone at long. My damage is within acceptable thresholds, although previous attempts to disarm the weapon have been unsuccessful. Additional support may allow me to complete my active, allowing me to leave this place. My mission is the disarmament of Unit XW-99. Designation, Siren. Nearest final active Xeno weapon, 99, has proven a far more formidable adversary than its peers.
I'm sorry. You're chasing a real, living Xeno weapon?
They will be. Unit 99 has proven a capable adversary. External support, however. During the Colony War, handling of Unit 99 and its peers were among my personal duties. Deploy Unit 99. Defend Unit 99 against hostile forces. When I was separated from the Xeno warfare team with the Armistice, Unit 99 and its broodmates remained here, so I am here to correct my mistake. Correct. Unit 99 is a Siren, a deadly biological specimen deployed to Nera during the Colony War. Execution of said specimens is the standard method of Xeno weapon Species designation, Secusa lantanus. Top speed. Technically, yes. All Xeno weapons have a control interface, which allows them to be given orders if Unit 99 were to be subdued. I could wipe its interface. This would however, it is my Personal assessment. And Nero would be better off with Unit 99 terminated. Follow me. Mind your step. As you have no doubt witnessed, this region can be hazardous to all threat detected. Contact found. Engaging. Detecting Unit 99. But there is a complication. Unit 99 is a sensors suggest a mercenary company like Ecliptic would only want Unit 99. Standard procedure would be a frontal assault on the outpost.
I'll follow your lead, but I have a feeling...
Elimination is the sounder course of action, but based on my scans, what you are describing is feasible. Ecliptic appear to have... If you were to eliminate Ecliptic forces, or could manage to seal Unit 99's restraints without being detected, I could move in and disarm the creature. Such an approach would require no small bit of guile or stealth. Neither. Very well.
important or not, I'm ready to listen. I'll be right here.
Some progress, sir. A complex piece of hardware. We're sure this is necessary.
Buyers demanding to know it works. We don't provide, we don't get paid.
All right, I'll keep at it. gate is stuck. We'll fight without it. Attack by one has target.
If I can help you with anything, just say the word. Excellent.
You have returned. Very well. Greetings, Unit 99. The specimen's control interface is intact. I can proceed. Initiating wipe. Hostile detected.
You're going to be carrying that.
Your service is now complete. Mine, however, continues. Our work here is finished. Now, what is this mission require? I will rig the gate on a timer. It will release. That is a cause I would like to be. You are docked at. One of a kind.
ready to depart.
We have arrived. I will meet you inside the facility.
Okay, hello.
Howdy. I can't believe it.
Major Sanon, Dr. Walker.
You're in better shape than I expected, Kaiser. Shouldn't take as long to get you back up to full fighting capacity.
This is good to hear. I was told there was a new threat on the horizon. I wish to learn more.
Percival will give you the full story.
Plus, get you dressed for the occasion.
Occasion? Where are we going?
Londinian.
Londinian. Doctor, I will require additional armaments.
That's the plan. Come on.
Captain, you're with me. Time to walk you through what we came up with.
So the problem we're up against is vast. Terramorphs, they can be anywhere. Meaning us finding and disposing of them ourselves isn't an option. But what if we could let something else do the work for us? Come I'll walk you through what we're thinking. You remember that creature we talked about before you went to Nira? Apparently, they were bloodhounds for terramorphs. But when the UC ran low on synthetic foods during the Colony War, the Asylees were chosen to fill in the gaps. We thought they were harvested to extinction. But in the data, the research team found the location of a few, as you can see. What we're proposing is bringing them back. We'd breed populations of them, distribute them to human worlds, and then let nature take its course, using a method that thousands of years of adaptation have already perfected. We could speed up their breeding process using some of the... We even think that with some time and investigation, we could use the Asylees' hunting skills to track down the terramorph transmission method at long last. Find out how humanity spread them and put an end to the terramorph. If you pick a fight with one, or you're a terramorph, sure. As livestock, they're far less of a danger than the one we're proposing to clean up. I really think it could. Now, there is another option for removing the terramorphs from our worlds. It's fast, a microbe. Something we could aerosolize, let spread, and have it clean up anything with terramorph DNA for us, which would include morphs, and we expect their transmission method. It'd still take time to build, test, and distribute, but no. Percival assures me that they're minimal. He'll be able to encode safeguards against mutation in the agent's genetics, so that... But the microscopic world has a tendency to behave in ways you can't always predict. Well, that's still not 100%. But it sounds like the Vanguard will actually be picking up a fair bit of it. But there's no sense in hammering down those sorts of details before we've made a decision. Still with us? Hello? Inclined that way myself. With either path, though, we're looking at a long-term commitment. Years of work. Even just getting these plans off the ground is going to take time. And all routes are going to require some highly specific materials to make them. Terramorph cell lines we can breed quickly and consistently to test on. Asylees gene samples we can use to rebuild their bloodlines. Or sharpen our microbes' tracking skills.
Not the sort of things any labs just got lying around. But we think we found a lead. One place in the known galaxy where we know we should be able to find all paths lead to Londinian. It's certainly not encouraged, but the UC's given their sign-off for this excursion. It's dangerous, yes, but Kaiser, Percival, and I, we've trained for this. And you're not so green yourself. And the last thing I want right now is for the UC to stick us with some gung-ho jarhead who's gonna put us and the mission at risk. Captain, you're the reason we're all here right now. You're the person Exactly what I was hoping to hear. Now, the UC has a small operating base on Londinian's outskirts. We're cleared for access, but we'll need to check in with the base commander, Sarah Hatoum, when we touch. I'm gonna help Percival and Kaiser prep, but once that's done, we'll rendezvous with you there. But you need to know, Londinian? It belongs. They'll have anti-Xeno gear for us at the base, but I'd make sure you've got your favorite arms on hand.
To the study of the Terramorph, the Red Devil.
It's a damn shame that it was necessary to reopen this facility. But someone has to deal with the fact that the Terramorphs have resurfaced.
Goddamn planet. You romanticize a place when you're away from it for long enough. But I forgot what a dust-crusted pit Mars. Now you. What do you need? Oh, that's you then. Don't much care for Vanguard. It sounds like you two really got into the thick of it back into it. My sister's kids live in the city, so, Don't think it's a controversial belief that the UC should spend its money on its own people first, rather than doling out credits to pilots from God knows. But, considering the evidence before me, I guess, so, you did for... Yeah, they both came through okay. Effectively useless human beings that would have had no reason to be anywhere near the fight. Still, would hate to see anything happen to them. Now, what was it you needed? If anyone can pull off something as downright lunatic as that, and I'll make sure they've got all the supplies they might need to... That's correct. Ran logistics for the Devils for years before getting the assignment. Military logistics isn't usually thrilling work, but it's bone-crushingly exhausting. Coordinating habitats for nightmares from the far side of Lantana 8B and their favorite breathing snack foods? Sure, why not? Stocking the UC for a rancher who's got 2,000 grade A kilos of biomass he can ship to Mars per week? So when I heard things might be opening up again, I put in... Don't worry, I'll handle the paperwork. Can't do the job without everything up to spec.
Howdy.
Hello.
I have things for you.
Vessel again. You're advised to leave this orbit immediately. The United Colonies will not be held responsible for any harm you... Let me check my logs.
I've heard the story, but I've never seen it with my own eyes.
You! Inside the barriers! Double time! You with the Xeno unit? Get to command.
I pride myself on either that or you're one deeply unlucky trespasser. Deflection. Lovely. Nervous then? Well, perhaps I'll just get my answer from them instead. Commander Hatum. No need for introductions, Major Simon. Dr. Walker. Your reputations precede you. Can I also presume she's with you?
Oh, the captain? Yes, ma'am. Couldn't do this without her.
Then let's not waste any more time. Now, Londinium is one of the most dangerous places in the Milky Way. It's with good reason my soldiers and I do everything we can to avoid entering the city. Terramorphs are omnipresent, and the structural damage left behind when Major Sinon's father bombed its spaceport. As such, we'll be providing you all with gear, information, and uploading municipal unlock codes to your robot. Except one. Once you're on the other side of those barriers, you will be on your own. If you get into trouble, my people... Do we understand each other? Terramorphs, and plenty of them. For that reason, we keep our trips into the city to a minimum. It's also why I want to make sure I'm being crystal clear. We are unwanted guests on this planet, and, as a rule, I don't put my people in any more risk than is absolutely necessary. So, no, there will be no cavalry sweeping into the rescue. I'll leave you to your preparations then. You can find your equipment in our armory. And I do believe there's someone waiting for you there, Captain. Now, once you're outside the base, it's my personal suggestion you make a beeline to the nearby Aceles plant. It contains... though I can't guarantee it won't contain anything else. I hope you all find what you're looking for out there. Robot, you're coming with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Commander. Percival?
Should only take a few minutes.
Percival will be scanning the city for our samples from here. When he... No argument here. Head over to the armory and gear up.
Excuse me. You match our description. The Vanguard. Make sure you had the best tools for the task at hand.
junk you're hauling is seriously slowing you down.
You're going out there willingly. Damn. Don't go into the city much. Never for long. Too risky.
So, what's new with you today? Sure, but... how is it that you always... bring me anything useful? It was nice talking to you again.
Transfers complete. All set on your gear? Then let's get this show. Everything green on your end?
Back, eh? How's it going? If you have any gear you want me to haul, I'm happy to help. Take care of
Oh,
yourself.
you're a... Riot robot.
Kaiser, kick it off. Your mind? Glad to haul whatever you...
Transmitted.
Oh, I love catching up with you. Let's do it.
All right. On our way into the city.
Percival, where are we heading?
Running the first sweep. Got one. A Sealy's. Not far. Old shipping yard just past the processing plant.
That creature. It's dominated. Must be a morph nearby, keeping it under its sway.
Harness that type of power.
Your shipping yard's just beyond the processing plant. Cache with some goodies is towards the rear of the facility.
Kaiser, close enough for you to dial in the location of those samples from here?
Yes, they're faint, but I'm detecting multiple valid signatures. I have restored power to the containers.
Jackpot! Get down there and collect as many as you can.
jump looked painful.
Hand those over to Kaiser, and let's get out of here.
Samples secure.
Nice work. No. Earlier scan picked up a valid Terramorph sample, but, well, it's in the spaceport. And the quick route there looks like it got blasted when the port did.
Under the city, which will allow us to access the spaceport.
Kaiser, how did you know that?
I am not sure.
Percival, you see any better option?
Not from where I'm standing.
You got our answer.
Access unlocked. We may proceed.
Kaiser, this flora, this is Lazarus plant, isn't it?
Confirmed.
You know, no one even realized it was a living thing until someone got it under a microscope and saw it had cells. Can't be cultivated anywhere but Londinian. A real marvel. These leeches. What's keeping you things warm? What's that? My God, what? Look at it. A Lazarus in bloom. You know, we might be some of the only. What's happening? The heat leeches are terramorphs.
What? No. It can't be true. Heat leeches are everywhere. They live everywhere. That means terramorphs.
You just saw that, right? You would tell me if I was losing my mind. That heat leech became a terramorph. The pests that have snuck onto every planet. Heat leeches hide out in ships, sneak away after landing, and then, with time, we just found out how terramorphs... No, Lazarus plants can't grow anywhere but here, let alone blossom. Plus, if what we just witnessed was happening anywhere else, well, it wouldn't just be Londinian law. What we just saw, it must be some kind of alternate growth method. One that winnows 70 years of maturation into seconds. That I don't have an answer for, right? But if they share a genome, like most nymphs and adults do, the microbe should have no problem dealing with heat leeches. The Aciles, we'll have to look into. But given what we know about the creatures, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to find that they've got an appetite for both. Pretty major is right. The Lazarus plant. It's clearly an accelerant for the terramorph. But that means if anyone knew about this, you could sneak a leech into a city, or even multiple leeches. Good God. The attack on New Atlantis. But first, you'd have to know the truth about all.
Well, we're never gonna know if you don't catch that thing. Get after it!
We may proceed.
Go!
Initiating target elimination.
Alright, it's Percival. Kaiser's got the cell data from the New Atlantis and Tau Center attacks, right?
Uploaded them myself.
Captain, let Kaiser take a look at that sample.
Beginning analysis. It is a match. This suggests with high certainty that the Lazarus plant was used to trigger the attacks on both planets.
There's no way a plant this rare, this fragile, just shows up here, New Atlantis, and Tau Ceti. The transformations on those worlds, they must have been triggered by human hands. Captain, do you understand what it is we just stumbled on here? Exactly. Someone saw the Lazarus plant in action.
A bioweapon no one would recognize as one.
Sort of thing that'll keep you up at night. Makes some sense, actually. Tau Ceti was likely their first test. Someplace remote where no one would ensure the big show, the attack on New Atlantis, would be a success. And the timing of that one, it couldn't have been just luck that it happened right when we were asking the cabinet to do something about the terramorphs. These attacks, I think someone planned them. They certainly were. But having this answer, well,
Who could pull something like this off?
Let's save the discussion for when you all aren't standing in the universe's closest equivalent to hell frozen over. If we're gonna do anything to prevent more Terramorph attacks, human cause or otherwise.
Roger that. Kaiser? Get us.
The entrance is this way. I am unable to provide sufficient power to the lock mechanism.
Anyone got ideas where we could get some extra juice?
Local power looks like it was controlled in the security office. Upper floor.
Captain and I can scout it out. Kaiser, see if you can't find another
No
way to get it
hostiles
open.
detected by near-range sensors. Roger that. I have restored power to the office entrance. You may proceed.
There's the control panel. Still looks operable. Of all the things to survive.
Reactivated. Error. Control system reboot required.
And we Back in business.
Warning. Emergency recorder message detected. Transcription process engaged. Playback initiated.
Admiral Senon, we need to make the evacuation request.
That's my father he's addressing. He was here? Didn't think he'd have the guts to look those soldiers in the eye before blowing this place to pieces.
Admiral!
It just transformed. An invisible weapon. No planet will be safe. Colonel, the troops that closed off the sewers after my evaluation, they're all in this facility.
Other than our casualties, yes, sir.
Good. Move virtual positions around the spaceport. No one leaves. They'll send ships as soon as possible.
Thank God. None of us wanted to go down swarmed by those things.
That won't be your fate, Colonel.
Transcription complete. Physical copy available.
An invisible weapon. He knew. He knew about the Lazarus plant. Grab that recording. We should talk. Hey, Victus. He destroyed this place. He saw the potential of the plant as a weapon, and he killed those people to keep them from sharing what they might have seen.
Oh, you make it sound like a miscalculation.
A calculated loss. But it doesn't. It can't. But if the plant was used to trigger the attacks, and even if he wasn't direct.
So you're telling us that the attack on New Atlantis was Victus's responsibility?
But I guess we're not getting any more answers right now. Kaiser, try it now.
Successful.
Guys, your sample.
Sound good. Eyes peeled. am getting. The thralls! They're not coming after us! I guess we should grab that sample while we can. Good. Now just stash that sample with Kaiser and we're done.
Final sample secure.
All wrapped up. Time to get the hell out of here. Percival, you should unplug and find somewhere we can talk. Privately.
On it. See you soon.
Yes? Bags acting up again. Not gonna forget that fight anytime soon.
Carrying enough clutter there, or should we find more?
Look at all of you. Back from the underworld. Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there. But it's something. Can't be positive until we run some tests. Arguably makes things more feasible.
Agreed. Plus, I don't think you're gonna have to push real hard to get folks on board with cleaning up one of the galaxy's greatest pests.
But none of that's getting done without the samples. Ah, this place. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Victus knew about this damn plant?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned.
It's a bit more complicated. Captain, he needs to know. Victus is alive.
Alive? That can't be true.
Unfortunately for us.
So that means...
I believe that's exactly what that... Look, Captain. Percival and I, we need to get these samples back to the lab. Ensure we'll be able to handle cleaning up the leeches as well as the terramorphs. but Victus is the only solid lead we've got on. Since you're the only one who knows where he is, can you speak to him? Good. We'll all meet back at mast. Out. Best of luck, Captain.
All right, Captain. Where are we headed next?
I have something for you when you have a moment. If you need something, I've got your back. Fishing for a hand. You can't get rid. Happy to listen. What's on your mind, darling? Don't stay away too long.
You will be scanned as you enter the city.
Happy to listen.
Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attack. Perhaps I can convince you. Of course. Do I look like I'm in any position to do what you're describing? So I'd very much appreciate your agreement to not share what you found. We wouldn't want any... clever than I expected. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti. Years of coordination between my associate and I. Figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you... All in due time. First, I want to see if you're true. You couldn't be more right. The attacks were... When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into... So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential. It's easy to judge now, but the Freestar in that moment, I wasn't about to add another danger. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, and what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and who, what luck, he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being loathed is that people will do whatever they can. Not they wanted to pretend I didn't exist. And so Still, establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery teams was painstaking work. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any, but dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands. Slow work. But as you can... Captain, please. You've benefited. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and... Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday. I'm simply looking for you to... And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the Terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the Cabinet. Leaving out, all I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together. And how many have you killed to get There are no great works that don't cost lives, Captain. What? So we sacrificed a few dozen in the attacks to possibly protect millions. That seems like a fair... I only hope you'll see the same. That is a pity, Captain. But I am in no position to negotiate. Just think about the opportunity I've provided here. There are more on the horizon.
Personnel only. Your friend has to
If I can
stay here.
help you with anything, just say the word. Sure, I'm right behind.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Asylees are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our...
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to... So what about your end? Did my father tell you what he knew about the Lazarus? I knew it. The second I heard that recording, I knew... Why? It takes some deeply twisted logic to think anything did more harm to the sun.
So you're telling us that the attack on New Atlantis was Victus's responsibility? All that just to help restore the family name?
Well, once we inform the cabinet, they can ensure he won't be able to do anything like this. I'm sure he did, but he killed dozens of people. So I guess that gives us our final answer, unless there was more to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the Terramorphs. Anything else we needed to discuss? It's hard to know. Unlike my father, the cabinet aren't butchers. But killing UC citizens, along with everything else he's done, is unforgivable. But if you're really that concerned, you could request they be lenient. They might be willing to spare him. Then here we go.
Important or not, I'm ready to listen. No problem.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian, is what I'm reading here true? The second report claims to know the perpetrator as well. Did Reginald Orlays actually commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlays? Well, ma'am, it seems your report is incorrect. Francois Sanon was responsible for the attacks.
He did what? That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now that's quite the accusation your group is leveling. Seeing as Francois Sanon has not left containment, you have evidence to back this up?
It just transformed. A Terramorph out of thin air.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere.
He knew they could do this.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this... Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Victus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately. That's... But cutting off Victus's contact with the outside world is likely to be just the beginning. That will be up to the cabinet to... But I don't appreciate our mercy being taken advantage of. I'm not sure I see why someone with UC blood on their hands would merit leniency. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attempt. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure...
A sound decision, Madam President.
Well, luckily the natural hostility of Londinian makes keeping out trespassers, but will ensure its growth is contained.
Tell the Freestar Collective. Wow. So they have another tool to utilize?
I'm in agreement.
Indeed. Open relations at this point would be critical towards...
That is an interesting idea. A grand gesture, showing definitively this cabinet doesn't think like those of the past.
So, you want us to make nice with the Collective by sharing our state secrets?
No, I want us to display plainly the UC's actual intentions, that the plant will never be used.
That does sound worthwhile, Chief Coco. Very well. We'll get the Collective involved in the management. Thank you for the suggestion, Captain. So then, the Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human world. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. Major?
We've had a few discussions, but only the Captain has yet to weigh in.
I see.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
Here's hoping they'll be kept on a short leash.
That, madam, is most certainly the plan.
Order, please. And Major Sanan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the Captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is...
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sanan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Hey there. Glad to see you again.
Lead the way.
Informed us of your new status. Congratulations.
Well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. No need to thank me. You brought this all on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access. Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you... But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new... There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats. Any of those missions call to you? Of course. You've earned some R&R.
better than the last interceptor.
But why did they replace the handler? I thought the actress was amazing.
She turned him down. She apparently signed on to do some Shakespeare.
It's a buyer's market right now.
Well, well, if it isn't the United Colony's newest Class 1 citizen. In fact, the higher-ups want to thank you for your dedicated service by giving you one of the nicest pieces of real estate in the city. It's a premium penthouse at the top of Mercury Tower.
What do you say? It'll just take a second to get you registered as the owner.
Great!
You're in for a real treat. It's one of my...
Okay, you're all set. Your new home's...
You'll love the place. It has a...
Now that you're an owner, I'm sure I'll be seeing you...
This space is a...
We lifting off right away, or do you need a little bit of time?
When you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you.
If you need something, I've got your back.
Sorry to pull you aside like this, but I wanted to take a moment to Taking those steps to eradicate the Terramorph threat is essential to the safety of every... Yes, exactly. I only wish that the United Colonies chose to exterminate the Terramorphs with the experimental microbe. Apparently, their decision was based on your recommendation. Then you were mistaken. I'm sorry, but I believe that your logic is flawed. The Asili's solution will take far too long. Years, perhaps even decades. You've already seen how much destruction just a few Terramorphs can cause. While we wait for the Asilis to naturally prey upon them, we have to spend time and resources defending ourselves. How many human lives will be lost due to the wait? The science was at our disposal, and now we've cast that aside. I'm sorry to hear that, but what's done is done. Unfortunately, locking away the Lazarus plant instead of eliminating it adds to the risk. Anything that accelerates the Terramorph life cycle Of course. I wouldn't have it any other way. I appreciate the fact that you've taken the time to listen to my opinion on the matter. God's sake, drop some of that rubbish already.